Hello, everyone. Welcome to
Hey.
Praise the Run, episode 24. I'm Ben, aka the MrBenShow. This is my channel, and this is my co-host Patrick.
Me.
Patrick McKinstry, Litterdud, all the names. We came out with an episode like 2 days ago, so you might be like, "Why is there 2 podcasts this week?" Well, we skipped a week, so
Yeah, we're
there's
catching
that. Yeah, catching up, and this is we had a lot of news to talk about last time, so this is kind of gonna make up the rest of the news that we missed. And there's a couple of news stories that came out within the last couple of days.
And it's not nearly as hot as it was the last 2 recordings we did.
Yeah,
We can actually wear a hoodie, like it's, yeah.
I don't even, was it hot last recording?
I'm pretty sure we were, yeah, it was, we had the fan on, we were sweating.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't as hot as the time before that, but it was like, this is the coolest it's been
Yeah.
recording-wise in like months.
Yeah, definitely. I took a shower today and I was shivering after I got out. There's so much news though to keep us hot.
Yeah.
Hot off the presses.
Hot news.
The Tokyo Game Show starts today. We're not going to be talking about the majority of Tokyo Game Show until next week because it's happening as we speak.
Yeah.
But last night was the kickoff with, I forgot how you say the studio's name. It's like, people just call it RGG. Ryugyo something. But the Like a Dragon or Yakuza team has 2 new games coming out, as we know, and they did a little showcase that they teased, I don't know, like months ago that they were gonna do. So we finally get to see these games.
Oh, nice.
We
Do it
saw
live.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of it for the reveal.
Right.
And I think they've done like one other smaller showcase thing for Summer Game Fest, but this is like a straight up deep dive. We're not gonna do everything. We'll do the gameplay trailer. I guess I don't know if we should do the story trailer or the gameplay trailer because that's like 15 minutes. And there's a bunch of stuff here. Now we'll go to the Sega one. We'll go to the gameplay reveal.
This is the one where he wakes up in like Miami or whatever, right?
Hawaii.
Hawaii? Oh,
Yes,
okay, yeah.
the
He
first
just wakes
time.
up on an island or something?
Yeah,
Right, okay.
the first time.
First
they've-
American.
Like a dragon
Yeah,
is
just the
going
first time
places.
period that they've done outside of.
Bask in the tropical
Japan.
sun. Take in the ocean breeze.
And then
And
most of
join
the
Ichiban
as
he explores
Yakuza or Like a
paradise
Dragon's
on a
all in
mission
one
to find his
city,
mother.
Yeah.
Yokohama.
Alone, far from home, without a penny to his name, he must rise from rock bottom. So pack your bags and get ready. You're going to
Yeah.
Hawaii,
Real pretty.
Looks really nice, yeah.
complete with a dynamic weather system. The sights and sounds of Hawaii have been faithfully recreated in painstaking detail. It's shaping up to be the biggest adventure yet.
Oh yeah.
The combat system where characters duke it out in action-packed RPG battles.
This one
will
is
get your
going to
blood pumping.
continue the turn-based
You can move your
RPG.
character during their turns
style.
and take full advantage of your enemy's
Wow.
position to obliterate them.
Yeah, he's picked up a sign.
Kazuma
Yeah.
Kiryu is back and ready to rumble.
Has like
And
a
he's got plenty of tricks up his sleeve.
Street Fighter vibes.
Yeah, the
His
original
fighting
ones are
spirit
brawlers,
And unleash
Okay.
mayhem in real time.
and picking up all
Crush your
of the
enemies
stuff
with
around you
overwhelming power.
has been part of that. But now doing it in a turn-based
Additionally,
thing,
by
it's
taking
like
tours only available in Hawaii,
a
you
quick
can
time
change into
event
brand
kind
new
of thing in the
jobs.
middle of you doing your actual attack. It's pretty cool.
Samurai,
Oh,
Desperado,
okay.
Geodancer, Pyro Dancer,
Oh, wow.
Housekeeper,
This is hilarious.
Action Star. Many more exciting jobs are waiting to be discovered.
I like the obvious American tropes they're going for and stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Observe, listen, or just
That,
have fun.
oh my god,
And
that's
find your
great.
career of choice. Houndmates, a summoning service that
Okay,
can
we got
turn
our
the tide of
summons.
battle, is back and better than ever.
Houndmates.
Yeah, it's like a
Of allies.
fighting app
Blasts from the
in the
past.
game. When you can call people up at 7 and stuff like that as you meet them.
That's awesome.
派手に決めてやるぜ。
It's a crawdad.
Deepen your bonds with your party as you travel throughout the world. Every
assuming
experience
it'll come
makes
in
Ichiban and his
English.
friends grow stronger.
Oh yeah. English writing. I don't know if they'll do. I don't know if they've ever done English voice acting.
That's fine. That's fine. I
There's no
watched.
shortage of side experiences.
I'd imagine there will be English because you're in Hawaii, so I'd imagine it'll be
A game about shredding on
a
a bike,
mix
gathering
of
food for
both.
customers,
Crazy
That's
taxi.
sick.
performing insane tricks, and finishing the job in style.
Has like a crazy
Fight it out
taxi
in Sujimon
Yeah.
battles.
feel to it.
You can recruit Sujimon U5 and hit them head to head in
battle
intense
arena.
combat.
That's cool.
Raise your Sujimon, hone their skills, and leave your rivals
Sujimon.
wailing in defeat. Aim for the top and become the strongest Sujimon manager. Mismatch. Create your profile the way you want it. And put
Wow.
your chatting skills to the test to lighten up the mood.
俺とデートに行きませんか？
Will
This
you
is
be
like-
able to meet the girl of your dreams?
Like GTA on crack.
Oh yeah, dude. You have
Every
no
nook
clue.
and cranny of
It's
town has a new
insane.
surprise waiting in store.
I wonder if
Karaoke offers an incredible selection
the
of
real
songs to
estate
sing
stuff
to your
will come
heart's
back
content.
in. Like Yakuza 7 had a giant real estate mini game thing that
Oh, interesting. I feel like they. I don't know if they will, but it feels kind of implied the way they're like, you start with nothing and then you like
What's more, Sega
get
Bass
everything,
Fishing,
you know?
Spike Out,
yeah, I
and
mean,
many other classic games return in this title.
what's his fuck is homeless.
Games to play.
Oh my god. That's exciting.
Featuring extreme battles with a world-class
exciting.
locale as the backdrop. And tons of mesmerizing content.
Like this game makes me want to start from the beginning and play all of them,
Go take a trip.
but there's like 100 of them now.
There's 8 of them.
Oh, really? There's only 8?
Yeah, there's 8 of them.
I thought there were
There's
at least 10.
Yakuza 0 through 7,
Yeah.
and then they did a couple
Like
of
a dragon.
spin-offs,
Yeah,
but
okay.
the mainline story there's 8 of them.
That looks great though.
Now there'll be 9 of them because they do have another game that is going back to the old form, which is Yakuza, or Like a Dragon. I keep calling it Yakuza because I'm so used to it. Like a Dragon, the man who erased his name.
Of your favorite
Oh, right.
The first 7 games are
The Rookie, Sons of Anarchy, Law and Order, SVU.
fucking,
caution.
forgot their
Watch full
names, dude.
seasons. Stream on Hulu.
The first 7 games are the main character of the series.
Right.
7 is a different character, and the original character pops up there in the middle of 7.
Yeah.
And you don't know where he's been. This game is supposed to show where he's been the last couple of years. And apparently he erased his name.
この動画をご覧いただき誠にありがとうございます。龍が如くスタジオ代表の横山正義です。
Wanted gameplay, bam. I'm sure you got some nice things to say, but we got a
次の仕事が
podcast.
入りました。コードネーム上流。
So this will be more of the old school
今
style
回の
with
任
the
務を端的に言
brawler
えば
mechanics and everything
密輸
like
の
that,
警護
where
です
you'll just be able to pick up like a
現
bicycle
場
and
には
smack a dude
私や
and
一
stuff
派
like
の他の
that.
エージェントも大勢います。
Always fun.
Yeah,
結局
classic.
持ち場に立っているだけでいい。簡単な仕事でしょ。
This one seems like it's not gonna, like, all the games are serious, but they have humorous moments. This one seems like it's going to be even more into the serious realm,
Oh, okay.
just because he's been through so much shit.
Yeah. It's like a darker turn on the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
予定と違う客か
I think he's part of like some Japanese secret service or something like that now.
Like a 007
仲間が人質に取られてい
type
たぞ
K.
I
That's what I
don't,
thought when they did the whole
花輪を見捨てる
no name thing.
I don't think
何の
it's
手
that
も打た
far.
ねえうちから
No, I don't think it's
本
that.
当に連中が
I
大
think
物
he's
な
like
のかはお前にも
straight
わ
up
からん
like working for the
組織を
government
リスクに
though.
さらしてまで救う価値はないそれをもし断ればお前にも
Yeah, it's definitely a lot
沖縄
more
の
grim.
子供たちにもペナルティーを
For
与え
sure.
る
蒼天堀には一人で向かってもらい
And
ま
like
す
that's not out of the
もし
question
他
for
に
them.
連れて
Like
きたらその時点で交渉はしない
they've done a couple of spin-offs that are based off like
この子が人質に取った
real
ら
world events and stuff like that in feudal Japan history. Like the most recent one, like a Dragon Ishin, was a remaster of one of those. That,
この世に生まれてきたことを後悔す
but those never came out here. They only came out in Japan. So like when Ishin came out, it was the first time it ever came out here.
どやあの一番奥のやつ
That's really
キャッ
great.
スルやろ
お前の名前はそんなんじゃねえだろお前は死んだはずの男だ
今こそ桐生さんの力が必要やと近江連合と
Kiryu.
それから
That's his name.
登場会のためにうちの親父と登場会の6代目堂島大吾この2つを
Music
解
got kinda
散
like
さすんです
Yeah.
dramatic.
大同時以降あなたを警戒していました
Yeah.
This is
Hopefully.
a soap opera video game.
Oh, for sure.
何を
For sure.
もう済んだことやあなたは取り返しのつかないミスを犯しました残念ですよ本当に
俺は大同時に向かって自分から死んでやるって啖呵切ったんだもう自分の過去も人生も名前すら捨てているだが俺の道を邪魔するってんなら
I need a big
力ず
epic
くで
bag
押し通
tattoo.
らせばよ
Even got him with the villain from the other
最初の目
games, like
的地
there.
はハワイですか
いやそいつは最
Oh,
後の
look, he's going to
男だ
Hawaii.
相変わらず自分のやりたいこと
Yes, yeah, yes.
を後回し
Yeah, we know that. Yeah, because the reveal of this, of
どうぞお気をつけて
Like a Dragon 8,
上流
was them standing next to each other in the streets.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Now, what that means, if you're
Ultimate
able to like
combat
switch
awaits
back
you
and
with
forth,
two
maybe or
high-impact
something,
fighting styles.
that would be crazy. But we'll wait and
First
see.
up is Asia.
There's plenty more to get into with all of that. I guess they did 20 minutes of gameplay for
Nice.
Infinite Wealth, and then I think The Man Who Erased His Name comes out like fairly soon.
When does the Infinite Wealth come out?
Next year.
Next year. Okay.
Yeah, I
Put
think
that on
they
my
said
wish list.
quarter 2 of 2024. And then The Man Who Erased His Name, I believe, is November. Yeah, it's exciting. Exciting stuff.
That's dope. Yeah, it looks
Um,
super nice.
Let me take these out now. You know, to keep them on. Get. Should I read some of this? We got a write up about it all. From Kyle Hilliard, a Game Informer. Sega and Like a Dragon series developer Ryuga Gotoku Studio held a presentation this morning showing all kinds of new details for the upcoming games Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. First up, it shared a 10-minute story trailer for Infinite Wealth, which shared so many details that I am hesitant to write them all in fear of spoiling potentially major plot beats in the game. The summary is that Ichiban Kasuga is offered the opportunity to find his mother, which means he must travel to Honolulu, Hawaii. Returning characters made an appearance. Ichiban will apparently be fighting sharks, giant squids, and taking part in fun Hawaii activities like surfing, and expectedly will be getting into all kinds of trouble with local gangs. Kazuma Kiryu's role also gets somewhat defined in the trailer. Some details not in the trailer include the fact that the playable party now has a full freedom of movement while fighting. That's kind of crazy. Allowing for more strategy. The game includes a Crazy Taxi-inspired minigame among many other money-making opportunities. Actor Danny Trejo from Machete and Daniel Day Kim from Lost will also be playing Dwight and the leader of the Barracudas gang, and Mazutaka Abina, the ruthless captain of the local Yakuza syndicate, respectively. You can check out some of the additional screenshots for the game below.
That's pretty cool. Danny Trejo.
Yeah, he's coming. I think he's been in like 6 games in the last 2 years.
Oh, I bet, yeah. No doubt.
Arguably the biggest news from the event, however, is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth's release date, which isn't far off. The game releases in January 26th. So if we would have watched the rest of that 10 minutes, we would have saw that.
So the beginning of...
Yeah, the beginning of January.
Oh, that's not bad. It's a few months.
January 26th on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Pre-orders for the game will not net you the Heroes Booster Pack to level up faster, and a special job set that includes the linebacker and tennis ace jobs.
Wow.
Along all the Infinite Wealth details, Sega and RGG also released the full opening cinematic for Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. And that's where that ended there. Do you have a date for this? Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon.
November 9th is when that comes out. Okay. So yeah.
Cool. Next couple months we'll get some good Like a Dragon games.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting,
That is
especially
exciting.
like the guy who directed most of the games, if not all of them. I think he did all of them. Has left RGG and has created a new studio.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first set of games that won't involve him. I think he had a hand in some of it. I would imagine so, because, I mean, games take forever to make.
Yeah.
He must have had a hand in some of it while it was in development, but he has since left within the last year. We got more games to talk about before we talk about things that aren't games, but game-related. This is about Phantom Liberty. Cyberpunk 27 almost corrects the past, is what is said from Toussaint Egan from Polygon. Phantom Liberty is Cyberpunk's 2077's final shot to get it right. Following a much publicized launch back in 2020 that was marred by significant bugs and conspicuous absence of several promised features, developer CD Projekt Red has worked to optimize the game's performance and realign some of its finer details. Nothing can erase the past, but Phantom Liberty and the accompanying version 2.0 patch came pretty damn close. Polygon gives this their Polygon Recommends award for 2023. Phantom Liberty is an unmistakable bullseye of an explosive spy thriller adventure that not only opens up a host of opportunities for replayability and rewarding moment-to-moment excitement, but serves as a fitting swan song to protagonist V's laborious journey from the gutters of Night City to the heights of legend. The expansion, which becomes available shortly after the transmission gig in Act 2 of the main campaign, opens with V being contacted by Songbird, a mysterious netrunner working for the Federal Intelligence Agency and a right-handed advisor to Rosalind Myers, the president of the new United States of America. The president's plane has been remotely hijacked and set to ground in Dogtown, a militarized section of Night City's Pacifica district ruled by Kurt Hansen, a former Militech soldier turned warlord, and his private army of Barghest mercenaries. The deal itself is simple. Rescue Myers from the crash site and secure safe passage back to Washington. In exchange, Songbird will offer a cure to the prototype relic ship that threatens to erode their mine and kill them in the process. Let's get to some of the nice words. It all adds up to make Dogtown the perfect setting for Phantom Liberty's taut spy action storyline. Although it initially borrows heavily from John Carpenter's sci-fi action film Escape from New York, it later morphs into an espionage heist thriller by the way of James Bond meets Michael Mann's Heat. Carpenter looms over the expansion's musical score as well, with a thrumming synth track that recurs as an ominous. Jesus Christ. Recurs as an ominous leitmotif beneath the danger, grime, and squalor of Dogtown. Its morally dubious inner zone rife with exploitation, desperation, and deception, the perfect place for a spy like Idris Elba's Solomon Reed to be holed up in. This keeps going and going and going and going. I forgot Polygon doesn't do scores, so they just write a lot, which is fine.
Sounds like they gave it a good review.
Write your 3,000 reviews. Yeah, they gave it the recommended award for sure. I should have pulled up some Metacritic reviews, but Cyberpunk, man. Did you play Cyberpunk when it came out?
No.
No, me neither. And I was kind of waiting for this moment for people to say it was good, you know?
Yeah, because that was the thing when it first came out. It was so not good that I was like, oh well,
right.
Dodge that bullet, I guess, you know. And if it gets better, then same. If I'd get it eventually, but it wasn't anything I was particularly excited for when it was before it came out. Like when it was just advertised, I was like, oh, I mean, it looks cool. You know, I like Keanu Reeves, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't hyped on any of that.
I wasn't like, it wasn't like a game that was pulling me from the games I was already playing. I was already in that.
Right. Yeah, the star fucking that games have done over the last 10 years, I don't care about at all. You can put whoever in your game, and it's not going to change. But
I don't understand. I prefer the opposite. I prefer brand new characters and experiences and not just faces I already know. Like the whole, like...
Well, you just mentioned Danny Trejo.
Well, Danny Trejo, he's just doing a voice.
No. And whenever these actors get put into a game, it's their likeness as well.
Oh, well,
yeah. It's the same thing with Keanu Reeves, Idris Elba.
If it's like just like a side, like a little cameo, if they're not like selling it, I'll look past it. Danny Trejo's the Easter egg of Hollywood. They fucking slam him in all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
That's silly, but like when it's a main character, like, you know, Keanu Reeves or that guy from all the Star Wars games that now he's like in half the games, his face likeness, or that guy from that zombie game movie, whatever.
I don't know what you're talking
the
about.
The guy from The Walking Dead that did that weird Japanese game that no one liked.
Death Stranding. A lot of people like that. That's a Kojima game.
Oh, well, I mean, I haven't heard anything good about it. But.
Yeah, no, I've
that kind of stuff, though, is like, I don't care. Why do we need him as a main character? You could have made anybody.
Yeah, it's all across the board, from faces to voices and stuff like that. It takes me out. It's ludonarrative dissonance. You know, you're in this world that's supposed to be this world and stuff like that, and now they're interjecting it with other things. Mortal Kombat is having this experience. Actually, we should probably talk about Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat's getting great reviews besides the Switch version, and the Switch version is insanely bad. But Megan Fox is a voice actor in that game, and she is significantly worse than everybody else.
Really?
And
See, I probably
it's-
wouldn't
it's
have. Is it
extremely
obvious
jarring.
that it's Megan Fox? I couldn't tell you what she sounds like.
It's not obvious that it's her, but it's obvious that there's a quality difference in just that. Like,
Word.
we're getting people just because they're a star. The Cal Kestis thing with Star Wars, on the other hand, the dude's a character actor. I mean, it's the same. It still takes me out regardless because, I mean, of the things I have seen him in. But he got famous from that. The Star Wars thing is what has made him,
Yeah. Well,
bigger.
that's. They should have just kept his likeness
They have only put him in the games.
in that. Well, no, because now he's in the.
No,
He was in the walking. Or he was.
he's not in any of the Star Wars shows.
No, not the shows, but he's in other.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Things,
saying.
and that's
He
what
is a
takes it
character
out.
actor.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But because of it being that role is what got him to now. Like other than that, he was just the kid from Gotham.
Yeah.
He was playing the Joker spinoff or whatever. But again, it's something in the fake world tying to the real world, and it takes you out. And
Right.
there's no way to. I don't like it whether it's a small role or a big role or whatever, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the same thing with like I mean, there's plenty of Easter eggs in games that do it, and I'm all for developers having fun, you know. But like, you take me out of the game, I'm gonna not be into the game anymore.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just how it is. I got other games to play. Glenn Schofield leaves striking distance. That's kind of crazy. We'll talk about that next week. What else do we got? Let's do the easy one first before we get into all the big shit. Actually, no. We'll do one of the big stories first. Well, we talked about it last week or last podcast a little bit. But now I have it written in words in front of me so we can get a little bit more in depth. Let's get a little angry. Unity backlash. Why gamers and devs unite against the popular game engine. Gamers and devs agree that Unity sucks. Michael Kreider, staff writer from PC World. Let's go. Where should we start? If you've been following the game industry over the last few days, you might have heard that Unity, the creators of the far-reaching game engine of the same name, have made a bit of a mess. A new scheme to start changing developers every time a Unity engine-based game gets installed on a PC or a console has indeed united gamers, developers, and publishers in condemnation of this boneheaded bit of naked profiteering. Here's the gist. Starting January 1st, 2024, all games that use Unity Engine will be charged 20 cents for each game installation once it hits a threshold of 200,000 downloads or $200,000 in revenue. A lower charge and a higher starting threshold, 1 million in sales and 1 million installations, will be offered for higher tiers of Unity subscriptions, starting around $2,000 a year. This is a stark change from Unity's previous monetization system, which offered the engine and installation for free, then relied on more advanced software subscriptions and integrated advertising platform, mostly mobile games, but some consoles and desktops too, and paid analytics tools. While Unity has clarified some early misconceptions after the news broke, such as not charging for multiple installations of the same game for the same user and not charging for game demos, the new monetization makes Unity far less attractive for the indie game developers that it's previously its bread and butter. To put it plainly, many indies simply won't be able to afford to publish games using Unity, and possibly won't even be able to continue selling existing games that use the cross-platform engine. That's because the new fees apply retroactively, taking in historical sales to calculate whether already published games will be charged. Developers have taken to Twitter and other social media platforms to show how much the new policy might cost them. The makers of games such as Among Us, The Cult of Lamb, Vampire Survivors Vampire Survivors, there's a lot of V's in that name, and dozens more have all said that they'll have to more or less completely abandon the platform if the change goes through as planned. I got a quote from Private Division. Unity is... Oh no, they're just showing a Private Division game because they use Unity. Necrosoft director Brendan Sheffield posted an essay he called The Death of Unity, pointing unequivocally at Unity CEO John Riccitiello as the villain of the drama. Riccitiello, an executive from EA from 1977 to 2014, has been working to expand Unity into new markets, including VR and industrial design, but Sheffield says that the engine itself has declined in both features and stability under his tenure. The change to his licensing system is the proverbial last straw. And this is the quote from him. If you're starting a new game project, do not use Unity. If you started a project 4 months ago and it's worth switching to use something else, Unity is quite simply not a company to be trusted. We got some more quotes here. Let's see what the Cult of Lamb official Twitter account told gamers to buy the popular title now because we're deleting it on January 1st. A massive shift of both existing and in-development games to alternate engines, including the industry giant Unreal, appears to be in the making. Gamers have broadly shown support for developers across all arms of social media, and it's hard to find anyone on Unity's side with expressions of support for developers and publishers in condemnation of Unity being near universal.
Right, no one's gonna support this.
Yeah. So I'll leave that there. No one's gonna support this. It's insane.
Right, like literally, no one's gonna buy a game that this is involved with. No one's gonna make a game that this is involved with.
Yeah, and like games that exist are in threat of just being taken down.
And even a game like Among Us, one of the most popular
free to play games.
I mean, they make money only through
microtransactions.
Yeah, that's the word. Microtransactions.
Yeah.
So
per install.
Exactly.
Imagine the 20, 30 million people that are just on mobile.
Yeah, I was gonna say just phone alone.
You gotta pay 20 cents retroactively for all of the previous downloads starting January 1st.
Mm-hmm. And I've downloaded it on at least 3 different things.
That's insane. That's illegal. This seems illegal.
Yeah.
Straight up.
It's like this weird gray area that they found that they're like, I'm going to take advantage of this the best way I can, I guess.
And then, you have... This didn't mention anything about what's happening with the leads or anything like that. But, it has been... Since John Riccitiello has been in charge of Unity, the dude has never acquired more shares of Unity. He's only sold, and it's only sold in opportune times of things that are hurting the company.
Right.
So right before this announcement, he sold $800,000 in shares or something like that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What? And he's one of 8 people that did this. He's at the top.
Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah, of course not. They're trying to... It seems like they want to profit from everything, but also they're trying to tank their business at the same time.
Yeah.
And trying to get out while the getting's good.
Why don't you just let someone else run it then?
Yeah, I don't understand. Because, it's not privately owned, of course. So, what the fuck? And then we get into weird apologies. And this is from IGN. Unity has apologized for its install fee policy and says it will be making changes to it. This is from Adam Bankhurst. This is recently updated, actually. A new report from Bloomberg outlines some of the changes reportedly coming to the policy. According to the report from Jason Schreier, Unity told staffers in a meeting this morning that it's considering capping fees to 4% of games revenues for customers making over $1 million. Additionally, installations that count towards reaching the threshold of fee enforcement won't be retroactive. Still, we've yet to hear from Unity directly about what changes they're considering to controversial policy. Per the Bloomberg report, Unity hasn't gone public with the changes yet because executives are still running them by partners and don't want to repeat last week's communication debacle.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's another thing, is that they put this out publicly, and then everything else has just been leaked. Just leaks after leaks after leaks after leaks with all of the internal stuff. There's another thing about the policy. I want the quote. Where's the quote? Oh, here it is. This is the Unity apology. It's a tweet. Just one tweet. And that's all we really need from this story. But, we have heard you, Unity wrote. We apologize for the confusion and angst the runtime fee policy we announced on Tuesday caused. We are listening and talking to our team members, community, customers, and partners, and we'll be making changes to the policy. We will share an update in a couple of days. Thank you for your honest, critical feedback.
How nice.
Yeah. How nice. What a weird way. They're not walking it back. They're not apologizing there.
They're just like, well...
They say we apologize for the confusion.
Right, yeah.
But we're not apologizing for the money we're about to be charging and stuff.
Right.
I don't understand. I don't see Unity existing
within the next year.
Now.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, people are already doing everything they can to avoid any further affiliation. I don't see...
Yeah.
Unless they do some major, like, backstepping, like back jumping, there's no way Unity's gonna be...
Yeah, from what I understand, this is like... I mean, like I said, this isn't the first time that this has happened, where they've just, like, completely fucked something up, and then a whole bunch of people have sold shares, and then the developers gotta, like, you know, pick up the remains and try to keep going on and doing their thing.
Right.
This is like the fifth time in the last couple of years where Unity is fucked up specifically.
Yeah, but this is...
And this is fucking with people's livelihood.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
There was they were going to... John Riccitiello was going to come out publicly and talk about it in a conference. They did cancel that conference because of death threats. Understand.
That's crazy.
Death threats are no joke, and you gotta take them seriously. And especially, it has came out that those death threats have came within the company. I mean, death threats aren't cool, but like, you're fucking with.
Neither is messing with.
You're fucking
literal
with a lot
lives.
of people's lives.
This idea that they have essentially is a death threat for so many game developers, and you know that you're basically threatening their livelihood because you want more money.
Yeah.
Like
that apparently wasn't just the canceled event. This says the pushback got so severe that Unity offices in San Francisco and Austin had to be closed due to what is called credible death threats. We will obviously continue to follow this story closely and share all new details as they're shared from Unity. Until then, please check out why these new install fees are spurring massive. That's the other two articles. This rabbit hole is getting deeper, man.
Yeah, it's like a weird, like, cartoon villain plot.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's no actual sense to it.
No.
But it's, like,
besides
happening.
The 20 cents that they're going to be stealing from
literally
people.
the 20 cents. That's the only sense to it. But it's somehow still, like, people are just like, all right.
20 cents per install, dude. Retroactively being charged.
That's even worse.
For previous installs. And they have no way to track that. We talked about that last week. Like, we don't track installs. That's just not a thing that happens. And we track sales, and even then, sales figures are weird because like not everybody produces physical sale, or not everybody does digital sales. Some people only sell digitally. It doesn't count microtransactions, like stuff like that. It's weird. It gets really weird. The demos thing is also weird that they had to mention that, where like it doesn't count demos. Well, was it going to count demos?
Right. Why would you? Yeah.
Was that the plan?
We're gonna start charging for demos too. Well, they may have not got the game, but they downloaded the demo. So
right.
20 cents, please.
Yeah.
You almost got their interest.
And then like neither of those had the quote of like when asked who's going to pay this, right? Like they said, oh, the platform holders for like subscriptions and stuff like that. Like good luck trying to make Apple or Xbox pay any amount of money.
Right.
Anything.
Yeah, that's not their part of the deal in all this.
Like
they're providing the thing for us to play the game on. They're not gonna pay for the game.
Right. You think Gabe Newell is gonna open up his wallet because some fucker bought any game on Steam? No. That ain't going to happen. It's not. It's
no way.
Not. I'd imagine we're gonna see a lot more Unreal games soon.
I just want to know, like,
there are other platforms.
This has to be approved. Like people, multiple people have to look at this idea and go, "All right, we're putting it in. We made it a contract. We're putting it out in the public." Like, how many people got together and was like, "We can make this happen"? Like, I want to know. Like, I want to know how many people are this insane to think that this is actually a good idea.
Yeah, it seems like
because it took a team at least.
It seems like it's just the suits on top. Because I mean, if they're getting death threats inside the company, it seems like it's straight up just the suits, you know. And that really sucks for the people that are just software engineers and stuff working for Unity.
Right.
And that sucks for customer service having to deal with all this shit.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I didn't even think of that. Customer service is probably Yeah,
PR relations, like all of that stuff is
just all the messengers,
right? Yeah, Jesus Christ. Speaking of sales, we were going to talk about this last week. I mentioned it, and I have it in front of me now. The Circana report, also used to be known as the NPDs. I believe they got bought by Circana, which is why they changed the name. NPDs stand for National Pricing Database, and then Circana is just the name of the thing. This is from GamesBeat, written by Rachel Kaiser. Armored Core 4 chases Madden NFL 24 up sales list. A new Madden game has continued the series' best-selling streak, according to the industry tracking firm Circana. That said, From Software's Armored Core 4, The Fires of Rubicon has also placed high on the list, and with considerably less lead time than Madden NFL 2024. While the industry overall hasn't greatly increased spending year over year, the hardware market has fluctuated in the last month. As of August 2023, dollar sales to millions. Total video game sales. August 22 was 4,802 million. Why do they write it like that? 4.82 million. It's like $40 million or something like that. Why do they write it like this? This is so weird. See, it's written in thousands, but it says into millions. Like, dollar sales, millions. but it's written as 1,000.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So August 2022, 4.82. August 2023, we got 4.203. That's 3% change. Video game content, as in DLC and microtransactions and stuff, we get a 4% increase. Video game hardware is down by 13%, while video game accessories, such as controllers and stuff, is up 12%. Video game hardware spending fell 13% when compared to a year ago to $328 million, said Matt Piscatellis, Circana's executive producer for Game Reports. PlayStation 5 dollar sales fell by a single-digit percentage in the month when compared to a year ago, while both Switch and Xbox Series declined both by a double percentage. Hardware sales were down similarly to last month, 19% to be specific, and it's likely for reasons the industry mitigated some of its supply chains issues last summer that were choking hazard sales, meaning that sales were up drastically. Accessory sales, on the other hand, have risen, with the PlayStation DualSense being the biggest seller and the PlayStation VR 2 ranking in the top 8. That's surprising. I guess 8 isn't. So that's probably like Joy-Cons in front and stuff. I'm just surprised that is selling at all. Total video game sales is up 2%. Video game content is at 0%. Video game hardware is up another 13%. Video game accessories 0%. PlayStation 5 continued to lead 2023 market across both units and dollars. Year to date, hardware spending was 13% higher when compared to the same period in 2022 at $3.2 billion. Accessory spending in August grew by 12% versus YA. What does YA mean? August. I don't know.
Oh, young adult.
First, accessory spending in August grew by 12% versus.
Oh. That's not what that is.
No. To 159 million. 7 of the 8 best-selling accessories of August in dollar sales were PlayStation DualSense gamepads, with PlayStation VR 2 ranking as the non-DualSense gamepad, appearing at the top 8 marker. We got our top 20 best games of the month. Again, for August, not September, but number 1 is Madden NFL 2024. Not surprising at all. But number 2, we got Armored Core 6, The Fires of Rubicon. And then those are the 2 new ones. We got a bunch of old ones. Remnant 3 moved up 1 spot. Or Remnant 2 moved down 1 spot. 2 spots. Last rank, it was ranked number 1. Now ranked number 3. Modern Warfare 2 is down 1 spot from rank number 3 to 4. Hogwarts Legacy 4 to 5. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom went from 7 to 6. Diablo 4 went from 2 to 7. MLB The Show went from 10 to 8. That must have gotten some kind of big thing recently. Minecraft went to 14 to 9. Mario Kart 8 went from 12 to 10. Pikmin 4 went from 6 to 11. We got Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Street Fighter 6, Elden Ring, FIFA 2023, God of War Ragnarok, Final Fantasy 16, Gran Turismo 7, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and then to finish off the list is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Remember that all Nintendo games are only physical, so Zelda, Mario Kart 8, and Pikmin 4 are only physical versions of those games. Which that's crazy. That's crazy how much those games sell. Let's see if we got anything new. There were several August releases that didn't make it onto the bestsellers list. Braum Rush, Cyberpunk, Stray Gods, and Immortals of Avium were released during the reporting period but didn't break the top 20s. Immortals, at least, is reported to have seen poor sales that may have led to layoffs, developers, and studios. We talked about that last week. They laid off 45% of their staff because of their sales. One of August's most discussed releases was Larian Studios' RPG Baldur's Gate 3. However, despite the game's positive reviews and audience feedback, it is not on the Circana chart. According to Piscatella, this is because Larian Studios is not a member of Circana's reporting panel. However, he noted that it would have been right up there and that it helped drive 132% growth in digital premium download spending and PC cloud and non-console VR content. And then, this isn't surprising, but we got the top 20 best-selling games of the year so far. We got number 1, Hogwarts Legacy. That one is surprising to me, because this is it could change. We still got one coming in November, but as of right now, Call of Duty is not in the best-selling games of the year so far.
Good.
In the number 1 spot, it is on the list. Number 2 is Legend of the Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, and again, that's physical only. Number 3 is Diablo 4. Number 4 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Number 5 is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Number 6 is the new one for the list, is Madden NFL 2024. 7, we got Resident Evil 4 Remake. Number 8, MLB The Show. Number 9, Dead Island 2. Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6, FIFA 2023, Remnant 2 being on that list at number 13 is crazy. Dead Space 2023 Remake, Madden NFL, Mario Kart 8, physical only, Minecraft, Last of Us Part 1, and then number 20 is another new one for the list, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. The year-to-date chart sees the additions of both Madden NFL and Armored Core 6. As with August charts, Armored Core 6 is on the list despite being only 1 day into the reporting period. So its debuting at 20th place is not a surprise. Last month, Remnants 2, which similarly launched only 4 days before the end of July reporting period, debuted at 18, has also moved up to 13th in the time. It's the only game that has moved up this year, or this time. This version of the list. There's a little bit of surprises there, but I just threw a lot of numbers at you. Call of Duty, there's still a new one coming out. So, that being on the list of best-selling this year, that was last year's Call of Duty. So that makes sense. Hogwarts Legacy being number 1 is surprising, because I feel like there was a lot of controversy around that game and J.K. Rowling and stuff like that, and rightfully so. I guess it's that mainstream.
Yeah, there's a lot of Harry Potter fans.
Yeah, and
young and old, and it's one of those games that anyone can play for the most part. Like, it's not limited.
Right. It's not rated M. It was limited however, it was only on next gen for a while, or current gen for a while, because it launched as PS5 and Xbox Series games, and now, like, they just did this to Star Wars too. It came out like 6 months later to PS4 and Xbox One and stuff like that. So I'd imagine that helped a lot.
Yeah, probably.
It's not on Switch though. So Armored Core 6 being up there, I'm always excited for From games to get the love that they deserve. Remnant 2 is extremely surprising. Remnant kicks so much ass, and that's just a small indie game that I feel like Remnant from the Ashes was popular, but like I've tried to get so many people into that game.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, go play Remnant. And they're like, what's that? I'm like, Remnant from the Ashes. And then that's enough of a name to not get them in it. I'm like, if it's third person shooter Souls, it kind of gets people moving, but it's not. It hasn't been enough for people to grasp it. Remnant has now since been on Game Pass a bunch of times and stuff like that. I think Remnant 2 coming out when it did was definitely the best time for it to come out. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that game's doing very well. I want to play that game. I haven't played it yet. And it's a bummer because I love the first one so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we at in time? How long have we been going for?
I don't know.
It feels like we've been going for a while, and we got like one big story left that's like several small stories. And maybe we'll save the Xbox stuff for next week. No, we'll talk. There's still stuff coming from it, so I don't know if it would be worth talking about all of it. But Microsoft had a giant leak this week, kind of compared to. I mean, there's been quite a few leaks of this size, but like as old as Half-Life 2 source code being leaked, to as recent as like that GTA 6 leak that just happened.
I was gonna say that's probably the biggest leak as of recent.
Yeah.
GTA 6
and then also pretty recently we had like the Nvidia leak. That GTA leak was quite a bit of stuff. We also had the Nintendo Giga leak, which was an insane leak of a whole bunch of legal documents and stuff.
Oh, right, that's right.
That's probably more akin to what happened here, but not as dire and not as much. There's still quite a bit of stuff. Basically what happened is that somebody uploaded a zip file full of a whole bunch of documents to the FTC homepage. Yeah, it was basically what somebody from Microsoft uploaded the wrong thing to the wrong place.
Oh no.
So we got a whole bunch of stuff. Microsoft's next Xbox is coming 2028. Envisions hybrid computing. It's by Sean Hollister from The Verge. Microsoft's new diskless Xbox Series X is far from the only news that just leaked out of FTC's versus Microsoft case. The documents also may reveal Microsoft's far future plans for 2028, by which the company believed it could achieve full convergence of its cloud gaming platform and physical hardware to deliver cloud hybrid games. Blah, blah, blah. Our vision, develop a next-generation hybrid game platform capable of leveraging the combined power of the client and cloud to deliver deeper immersion and entirely new classes of game experiences. Those are the words on just one slide from a leaked presentation dubbed The Next Generation of Gaming at Microsoft, which appears to be a May 2022 pitch document entirely around this idea. The company imagined you playing these games and using the combined power of a sub $100 gadget, possibly a handheld, and its xCloud platform simultaneously. I'm familiar with this idea because it's the one I advocated for in June 2021, pointing out how Microsoft had a unique opportunity to build games that scale from native hardware to cloud. It's something that Microsoft's kind of sort of already tried by offering photorealistic scenery in Microsoft, right? So basically what this wants to do is to use the Azure cloud to make games run better. Like, there's kind of stuff like this with AI and stuff, but basically, like, it can detect frames faster than the game can, so it can render it faster and stuff like that. It'll be able to take some of the, like, the server load, basically, of, like, online games and stuff like that, and, like, dedicate certain things to the cloud. They've been trying this stuff for a while, starting with, like, Crackdown 3, and, like, the way destruction and physics work in that game. It was definitely underbaked, but they've been working on this for a while. Kojima has a game coming out called Overdose that is supposed to also use this tech. 2028, though, for a new Xbox console. It seems right.
Yeah.
That's 8 years after launch. So that seems like,
Yeah, it's not bad.
It seems okay. That discless Xbox they were talking about, that was another part of the leak, is that a new Xbox Series X discless version, it hasn't been announced, but it was in the documents for everything, and then I have it right here. This is Microsoft's new discless Xbox Series X design with a lift-to-weight controller. This is by Tom Horn from The Verge. Microsoft is planning to refresh its Xbox Series X console in 2024 with a all brand new design and features. Codenamed Brooklyn, the unannounced console refresh has been accidentally revealed in the FTC versus Microsoft documents this week. The new Xbox Series X design looks a lot more cylindrical than the existing console and will ship without a disk drive. Internal confidential Microsoft documents revealed it has a 2 terabyte storage, a USB-C front port with a power delivery, an all-new immersive controller, and they showed off the controller. The new controller, codenamed Sibio, is set to be announced early next year for $69.99 and will include the accelerometer, which should let you merely lift it to wake the gamepad. It has a 2-tone color scheme and will support a direct connection to the cloud, Bluetooth 5.2, and presumably updated Xbox Wireless 2 connection. Microsoft also lists precision haptic feedback and VCA haptic doubles as specs for the controller. It will also have quieter buttons and thumbsticks, a rechargeable swappable battery, and modular thumbsticks. It is not clear if the modular simply means the joystick's tops can be swapped, like on Microsoft's Elite gamepads, or something fancier like the modules in Sony's DualSense. Sony's DualSense controllers prominently feature VCA haptics, then can technically double as speakers as well. Inside the new Xbox Series X design, Microsoft is also adding Wi-Fi 6E support and Bluetooth 5.2 radio, and the company is shrinking the existing die to 6 nanometers for improved efficiency. The PSU power will be reduced by 15%, according to Microsoft's documents. Microsoft is targeting the same $499 price point launch price of the Xbox Series X. Microsoft lists a roundup for the new Xbox Series X console and controller alongside a refreshed Xbox Series S with a terabyte of storage. Microsoft just launched a refreshed Xbox Series X or Xbox Series S in black, but there could be another refresh on the way in 2024 with Wi-Fi 6E support and Bluetooth 5.2. It will also include this new controller. Console customization via Xbox. Microsoft's Design Lab program has also been mentioned under the list of goals that the company wants to achieve by 2030. Though we should note that according to the leaked documents, this isn't fully funded. A new Elite controller is discussed in the same section, which will presumably include the same updates as the main controller's refresh. Microsoft is tentatively planning to launch this new Xbox Series X refresh next September, and with the Xbox Series X refresh in November. Correction, we originally wrote that the Sibio gamepad would have no gyro support, but has been confirmed that it would require a gyroscope in addition to accelerometer. We're seeing An 3-axis accelerometer can detect basic movements for things to lift and to weight. By adding gyro to measure 3 additional axes is required for gyro aiming, for example. Okay. So we got a lot there, but basically a new refresh of consoles next year. It's not a Pro model. This is the same specs and everything. It just has a newer Bluetooth output and stuff like that. It definitely looks sleeker. I don't have the console in front of me, but I did just look it up. Let's see if I could boop, get some B-roll on. I don't know who this dude is, but yeah. You thinking about buying a new Xbox? Cause I am.
I have an Xbox One.
Right.
So eventually.
Right.
I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah. So like. I
have the PS5, so.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we talked about it a couple weeks ago that PlayStation is thinking about a Pro model. Mm-hmm. While Xbox is not.
Right.
Now that PlayStation has been confirmed for a Pro model, I don't know what Xbox will do.
Yeah.
We'll see if there's the controller in the Xbox. We'll see if it changes or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But this Xbox Series X and S is not an upgrade for the most part. And in fact, for the Series X, I think it's a downgrade because it doesn't come with a disc drive. We'll see also where they go with that. The rumor for the PlayStation 5 portable, or not portable, the Pro model, is that it will also be a discless model, except they will have a external device that will be a disc drive.
Connect to it. Yeah.
Yeah, through USB-C.
Which that makes sense.
Yeah. So we'll see what Xbox does with that. I don't know. Xbox would love to sell us more hardware and stuff like that, but I don't. They seem too much of like. They want the convenience there. Like, they want everything to be convenient. They want everything to work together. PlayStation doesn't care about any of that. And they're releasing weird hardware constantly. We have that.
Yeah.
PlayStation VR 2 recently. They're releasing that PlayStation Portal, which is that streaming device thing that you can only play on Wi-Fi. And it's not even a streaming device. It needs to like connect to the PS5 in order to play the game. It's more like a Wii U gamepad, basically.
Oh yeah.
And then they have, of course, they just announced like new headsets and stuff too with all of that. But Xbox wants you to be able to have an ease of access that PlayStation doesn't give a shit about. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. There's a couple other things from this leak. This one's kind of a nothing story, but of course they've had this conversation. This is from Jay Peters from The Verge. I just took the whole Verge thing and then they had like 20 different stories all together. Microsoft's Phil Spencer says acquiring Nintendo would be a career-defining moment. If the opportunity to buy Nintendo aroused, Xbox might actually do it. Microsoft's gaming CEO Phil Spencer would really like to buy Nintendo someday.
I feel like anyone would want to do that. That's not... You're not special.
No,
sorry.
This
such a silly...
Yeah, and this is not even exactly what he said. In an August 2020 email to 2 top Microsoft marketing executives, Spencer wrote that Nintendo is the prime asset for us in gaming. And that getting Nintendo would be a career moment, and I honestly believe a good move for both companies. The emails were revealed as a part of a tranche of leaked documents from the FTC Microsoft lawsuit. One executive, Takahashi Namuto, asked Spencer and Chris Capassola in an email titled Random Thought about why Microsoft isn't finding acquisition targets like Nintendo more attractive. Finding targets like Nintendo a more attractive way to increase our customer exposure and relevance. I can just read the email right here. Takashi, I totally agree that Nintendo is the prime asset for us in gaming, and today gaming is most likely the path to customer relevance. I've had numerous conversations with LT of Nintendo about tighter collaboration, and feel like if any U.S. company would have the chance with Nintendo, we are probably the best in its position, in the best position. The unfortunate or fortunate for Nintendo situation is Nintendo is sitting on a high pile of cash. They have a BOD that until recently has not pushed for further increase in market growth or stock appreciation. I say until recently, as our former MS BOD member, Value Act has been heavily acquiring shares of Nintendo. And I've kept in touch with Mason Morfitt as he's been acquiring. It is likely he will be pushing for more Nintendo stock, which would create opportunities for us. Without that catalyst, I don't see an angle to a near-term mutually agreeable merger of Nintendo and Microsoft. And I don't think a hostile action would be a good move, so we're playing the long game. But our BOD has seen the full write-up of Nintendo and Valve, and they are fully supportive of either opportunity if it arises. Basically what that just said was, hey, we'd love to do that, but we can't.
Right, no one can. No one can, but everyone would love to. Who wouldn't want to buy Nintendo?
Microsoft could. They could. They have the money for it.
But Nintendo's not going to...
Right.
Nintendo, that is Japan's Microsoft. I don't know.
Yes. Kind of. Yes.
In a way.
For Nintendo is a billion-dollar company several times over.
Right. For so many things.
Yeah, Valve also being on that same tier, though, is interesting. Because Valve is not a public traded company. Valve is privately owned. And it's not a... I mean, it is now a hardware manufacturer. God fucking damn it, dog. Hold on. Almost done.
They're dancing.
Almost done, and we can go outside. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, it's a weird, it's not gonna happen.
Right, and right. So this is an executive that hasn't, I'm just gonna let her fucking out. Come on. Can't fucking deal with it. Okay, what was I? Right. Yes, this is two people in Microsoft that don't have nothing to do with the game side of Microsoft. Yeah, and Phil Spencer's basically like, that's cute, guys, but this is why we can't do it.
Right.
And then, money aside, they just spent $70 billion on Activision. Mm-hmm. They're a $1 trillion company, and there's only, 4 of those in the world right now.
Right.
They have the pockets for it. What is interesting about putting Valve on that same tier is that, sure, Nintendo hardware and stuff like that would be one thing. It would be very sad and stuff like that. You have Microsoft, the biggest PC manufacturer, the biggest PC software manufacturer, and then if they go after Valve, they will also have the biggest online storefront for video games. That's a monopoly right there.
Yeah.
That is what the FTC is looking out for. This Activision Blizzard deal that's fucking big meat and potatoes right there, but like that's doable, you know?
Right.
Once you start getting into we're gonna buy Steam, that's gonna start raising some eyebrows and stuff like that. And probably that would probably get blocked. Nintendo would probably get blocked too. I think they could probably buy Nintendo for the same amount as they bought Activision.
Yeah.
If not more. And if it was more, it'd be probably around the 150 billion. That would be a lot, but they could do it.
Yeah. I'm sure they could, but they just they can't.
Yeah. This is the third time that this has been mentioned in the last 20 years of Microsoft knocking at Nintendo's door.
You think by now they'd just be like, all right, Nintendo is its own thing. Let them have it.
And Nintendo is such a... They are so unpredictable with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, even with their consoles. Just console sales-wise. You have... GameCube sells fucking 20 million units, if that. And then you have the Wii. The Wii sells 180 million units or something. No, I think it might be on the 120. But it's 120 million units. And then you have the Wii U. Sells 12 million units.
Right.
In its whole lifetime. And then you have the Switch. It's a 150 million unit seller. You have games from Nintendo that sells... I mean, Mario Kart 8's had 60 million copies. And they have 3 games just on Switch alone that have sold over 40 million copies. And that's insane. Like,
yeah.
People don't do those numbers. Like, even Xbox... Even if Xbox were to buy Nintendo, Xbox games don't sell like that.
Right. Like,
the closest they got is Minecraft. And Minecraft ain't selling like that. Mm-hmm. Minecraft has sold a lot. Don't get me wrong.
But it's over 10 years old now.
Right. And it's across multiple platforms. Mm-hmm. We only track physical sales of Nintendo. So, like, it being 4 or 5 games on, you know, the top 20 best-selling games of the month, right. And that's physical only. Digital, gamer math would be at least double.
Yeah.
For digital sales.
Yeah, definitely.
What is that 130 million units on Mario Kart 8 alone? Mm-hmm. Like, that's crazy, dude. I don't know. That would be insane. I don't think they would do it as much as they would like to. I do, however, think that the idea would be to get Game Pass on Switch. I think that's the move that we'll see. Instead of trying to buy... I mean, they don't have to put Game Pass on Steam because they already have it on PC.
Right.
But they're putting their games on Steam now, and they weren't doing that 5 years ago. Same thing with a lot of Japanese developers as well. Mm-hmm. Activision Blizzard, the same thing. And now that they're being bought by Microsoft, you have Activision Blizzard games coming to Steam now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Speaking of games, there's a couple of games that leaked. It was in the B-roll. There was a little list of things there. I already read this part of the story. Ba-ba-dop, ba-dop. Microsoft leak. Microsoft documents leak new Bethesda games, including Oblivion Remaster. It's from Jay Peters from The Verge. Before it was acquired by Microsoft, ZeniMax Media, the parent company of studios like Bethesda Game Studios and id Software, was working on remasters of The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion, Fallout 3, and a new entry in the Doom franchise. According to the documents revealed as a part of the FTC versus Microsoft, the games were included in a July 2020 Microsoft presentation about the potential acquisition. Unannounced games in the presentation include the Oblivion Remaster, originally set for fiscal year 2022, Doom Year Zero and DLC, set for fiscal 2023, and second set of DLCs set for fiscal 2024. Fallout 3 Remaster, set for 2024. Ghostwire Tokyo sequel for 2024, and Dishonored 3 for 2024. There are also a number of titles for console and PC without specific names, including the Indiana Jones game. We've known about that for a while. That's from Machine Games, the Wolfenstein people. Project Kestrel for fiscal year 2023, and the expansion. There's no what that would be, but Project Platinum, again, and just a project name, and a vaguely named licensed IP game. Remembering that these estimates were from more than 3 years ago and before Microsoft completed its acquisition of ZeniMax in March 2021. So there's always a chance that some of these plans have changed dramatically or been scrapped entirely. They might provide an early look at some of the games that could be on Microsoft's Game Pass later. And then later down that, it talks about the Xbox that we just talked about. Yeah, that was the last bit. There was a couple of tweets from people saying, like, when Microsoft was considering future release titles to bring to Game Pass last May, Larian's hit CRPG Baldur's Gate 3 barely made the list. The game was described as second-run Stadia PC RPGs. In leaked emails from the FTC Microsoft case, Larian's director came out and was like, yeah, no shit, they thought we were a second-strong RPG. Like, everybody thought that shit. We made Divinity, and there hasn't been a Baldur's Gate 3 in 20 years, dude. We're not BioWare who made those original.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but Divinity 2 is a fucking amazing game, and Game of the Year contender of those years that they came out. Any remasters do anything for you? You down to play Oblivion again? Or Fallout 3 again?
Not really.
No. I picked up Oblivion for a little bit. I played like 3 hours, but
yeah, I don't think I've played it. I think I've only played Skyrim.
Yeah. Skyrim's definitely the accessible one. Oblivion, I love Oblivion, but it's definitely harder to go back to.
Yeah.
Morrowind's probably my favorite out of all of them, but Morrowind's definitely the hardest to go back to because that one doesn't even have like a world map or anything.
Oh, really?
But Fallout 3 remaster, I mean, Fallout 3 is a real ugly game. It would be nice to see that game look pretty.
Yeah.
So is Oblivion. Oblivion's real rough to look at in some parts. It would be cool to see what they did to these, what they will do to these games. With Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, they kind of like did updated versions of them, like when the Xbox Series X came out or whatever.
Yeah.
They like up-resed them and then gave them like 60 frame patches and stuff like that. I think they might even run at like insane frame rates on PC now. Doom 3 on the other hand though, dude, Doom 3 sounds fucking sick.
Yeah.
Doom 3 Year 1, that sounds dope. Doom Eternal was so cool, and Doom 2016 rips so hard. I could totally play through a third one of those. I didn't play any of the DLC of that second game. and there's a lot of it. That'd be interesting. Year one, I wonder if it's like the year one of the post-apocalypse, I guess? Or is it like, who knows, a time travel thing? That would be crazy. If it was like Turok, but you're fucking
weird,
fighting demons and shit.
That'd be weird. That'd be cool.
Sick as hell. That's all I got for news. We said we weren't going to talk about games that we've played because it's only been 2 days. That's really all I got for this episode, Patrick. Anything else you want to bring up before we close it out?
Not this week.
No.
Yeah, I'll wait and play some more games. I just downloaded Life of P, so I'll play that, and then we can talk about that next week.
Life of P.
What'd I say?
Life of P.
Life. Well, it's his life too, but you know.
I did that
the
earlier.
lies. More importantly, the lies of P.
One's a movie, one's a game.
Right.
Well,
one's Life of Pi.
Oh, right.
That's the
His
boat.
name's not
the
P.
Tiger in the Boat movie.
They both have twinks in them.
Right. Yeah. They both have twinks, and they both have animals in them.
Yeah.
I won't spoil that, but there's an animal character in Lies of P.
Gemini? Everybody knows Gemini.
Is that the dog?
No.
No, then that's what I'm talking about.
Gemini's a cricket.
No, I'm not talking about Gemini.
And then
I'm talking about actual animal human hybrid characters.
I think the dog is in the trailer. Human hybrids, there's not a lot of hybrid characters. There's a lot of humans that wear animal masks.
Well, this guy's a dog.
Oh, that's weird. There is straight up, like, they have the donkey kids from the Pinocchio movie. But
yeah, I haven't mentioned that yet, but...
They're just humans wearing masks.
This guy's a dog, man.
Weird.
As far as I've read, I haven't experienced him personally yet.
Yeah.
That's just some stuff I was reading this morning while it was downloading. But
I did play through
haven't
that
played
demo.
it. Did you play through the demo? Yeah,
Yeah,
the demo
like-
was nice. I love the demo.
I did that last night. I didn't play through it all. I played like an hour. I know there's like the final boss I didn't touch yet or anything, but
Yeah.
I've seen that boss be played a bunch. Yeah, we'll talk about hopefully a bunch of games that we'll be playing next week. This will be the day that we are recording from now on. Thursdays is the day. Back to Thursdays. We tried Mondays out for a bit. Patrick's off today. As of right now, I'm not working the mornings, so this is a good time for us. But yeah, till the next time. It's been fun, guys. It's been real. It's been Praise the Run. Peace out, guys. Bye.